going on, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk to you quickly about if a season 7 will happen. It was already confirmed that when season 6 was the final season, that was it. We weren't going to get any more seasons, but the ending of season 6 actually really gives us hope that they could pick it up for a 7th season if they're not just doing a Cobra Kai movie. I would love to see them do that in the future, and I think we technically got half of season 7 because we usually get 10 episodes a season, but with season 6 we got 15. And I feel that they have technically filmed half of another season. If I had another 5, we could have had a 7th season. I think there's potential for it, but it depends on how they want to bring back the story, because a film could just serve as a 7th season, or they could do a 7th season and really give more with each character and give us a little bit more on where the characters have been after a big time jump. Very likely after the events of Karate Kid Legends. I wouldn't say it's not possible they could do a 7th season, but I know the creators always said they had story that will probably last 6 seasons and it could go on to 7, but they were never certain on more than 6 because of how they felt the story was going. I think a 7th season may have given us just a little bit more from the story and to really develop certain aspects what we saw in part 3, because part 3 was just its own freaking season in a sense. Part 3 really felt like its own season. It generally felt like a 7th season. It was made very clear with John Hurwitz, one of the creators of the show, saying that each part of Cobra Kai is like literally its own mini season. When you look at part 1 and part 2, it feels like one season together, but part 3 really feels like another season. That's why I think a 7th season should have happened. I'm not saying that the show didn't do what it needed to do. I think they wrapped up stories brilliantly. I think you could just nuance more and develop more to get to where we are. I know they probably had to really get to the ball with things because it was the last 5, and there was probably certain aspects and scenes we could have got. If it meant with more episodes, we could have got little scenes like dialogue between Daniel and Kreese, maybe dialogue between Bobby and Daniel and how they reflect on the events of the Karate Kid, and just other characters that haven't really had that development together. Miguel and Tori, for example, I just would love to have seen more development with different aspects with characters and just to give that extra closure before they get to the point in where we are. I think the last 3 episodes could have stayed the same if they did a 7th season. It's just that there would have been more development in between that of episodes 11, 12. And they just have other episodes in between that would have done a lot more. I'm not complaining, I just wish we got a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. But a 7th season, it does have potential, but again, I don't think they will do it if they end up doing a Cobra Kai movie, because that would probably make more sense. Especially if this is going to be a very high budget film and they can do so much more with that. I think that would make a lot more sense. And seeing Cobra Kai on the big screen, if they can do a theatrical release, not just a limited release, a full-on theatrical release, that would be amazing. Of course, Sony Pictures Entertainment would also have to get involved because they make the films. Sony Pictures TV don't, and at the same time we do see Netflix involved with that, so we'll see what happens because there's spin-offs and loads of other things to come. So let me know in the comments, would you have liked to see in the 7th season, or do you hope to see one in the future, or a Cobra Kai movie? Because I think we will see one, especially when Ralph says he would like to see one in the next few years. Let me know in the comments down below, hit the like button, and subscribe if you're new to Cobra Kai Nation for more content. See you in the next one.
Cobra Kai Nation, a nation of snakes, coming together to snake each other. You're gonna snake with the Cobra Kai Nation. Nations join, nations divide, but snakes are forever. Cobra Kai Nation.